Hello lovelies, and welcome to today's video. My name's Alya and I'm so glad you popped in. So today we're going to be continuing a little bit of what's becoming a theme, and we're going to be talking about, where is she? Gucci's pre-fall release of their ready-to-wear line. It's a little bit of a follow-on to last week's Chanel release. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, love Chanel, was really easy to be inspired there, really kind of my vibe. I really love what they do. It's classic, it's chic, it's familiar. This is Gucci, and I chose this intentionally, like I intentionally searched Gucci because they're kind of, to me, to my eye, the opposite. They're very loud, they have these retro elements but from different eras, they're extremely color blocking, there's none of that classic black and white going on, it's all very loud, it's all very expressionist, and there's even certain things that I might personally disagree with or just not vibe with and all that sort of stuff. But we're here to create matching Tichels, matching headwear looks, and yeah, it should be really fun to do that with these really exciting color stories, and I'm always up for a challenge. So I hope you're interested, I hope you enjoy it. I got a lot of positive feedback last week, including a beautiful comment down below on the YouTube channel from my beautiful follower that's been around since the beginning, so thank you for your comment as always. So I hope you enjoy this week as much as you did last week, and let's jump in. So this is actually not a part of anything that we're doing this week. It's Gucci, so I put it on. I inherited this, it was a gift. So I thought I'd put it on because of the theme du jour, but we're going to jump straight over to look number one. I'm going to go right to left, starting with that fun deep yellow, maybe even mustard dress. I'm going to interpret it as mustard. And we're going to create a fun tichel. Now with this one, just picking off, cleaning it up. With this one, I've been playing with this sort of idea recently, and if you can see, there's a scrunchie that's perfectly matching attached to this scarf, and the reason it's attached is I do like to keep them together because then they can create really fun tichel designs that start off like this. Now, as you can see, I'm being annoying today, and I have included a shaper for some of these looks, just because I feel like there's such loud fashion statements that the tichel needs to be not disappearing into the background, let's put it that way, so it needs to stand out too. So I've just tied off at the back with a scrunchie. What this means is, because I'm not tying it into an actual tie, like I'm not actually flipping them over, you can keep quite a bit of the symmetry. Okay, so you get equal bands, which you can achieve as well, but you get to keep all the length. You don't lose any length to the actual knot. So I'm going to actually kind of flip it across so that the, one goes to one side, the other one goes to the other side. Because of the way it falls, I'll show you how cute you can get this happening. You can also include the scrunchie at a different stage, maybe at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this through, and I'm using it as wide as I can. So this is my look for the mustard dress here on the right. Look at that. Probably could use a pin or something just to make it secure. It's just fun, a fun little idea. It adds something different to your look, and it holds it really securely, which I really love. And I just like how that finish looks and feels, and so hopefully it looks the way I think it looks from the back. This next one, my initial response was just to go for a plain grey, or maybe even like a slightly patterned grey, like grey on grey type of thing. But I very quickly reconsidered. We do have a little bit of funny fabric combinations here. We have this satin top and then this very heavy, loud trouser. So in order to, I think, soften up the whole look, if I was to be wearing that particular pattern combination, let's just say I wouldn't, but if I were, I would actually go for a very soft fabric on the top. So this is a very thin summery shawl. It's huge though, and it's got beautiful pattern variations. You've got a little bit of burgundy, you've got the white, which will work really well with this aesthetic, but also it's got that perfect baby pink or powder pink that we see here. And it's not shiny like the top, so the top will still be the main event. So same idea as going for the grey, you're not distracting from the top, but it just will go with that whole overall softening. So, okay, so I'm just going to bring that halfway. I've taken off my shaper, by the way, if you haven't noticed. This is just a high tail. I'm going to twist it at the back, and then I'm going to try and flatten it or arrange it in a slightly neater way at the top. There we go. And you can actually, because you've gone halfway, tuck it underneath. That is an option, just like that. Or if you prefer, you can tie it, but I'm going to tuck. So really simple with these first two, but do you see what I mean? If you go for something that still stands out, because your whole outfit stands out, it doesn't make sense to do something simple. But if you work with the right colors and fabrics and, you know, almost feeling that a particular fabric gives you, like for example, satin, it'll either give you pajama vibes or give you evening gown vibes. The heavy trouser gives you that office kind of vibe. So if you go for a Tichel that's kind of, you know, business shirt potential, but also party dress potential, it also has that soft colors that will go with the palette. I think this works really, really well. I think though, looking at their whole line, they would, if they were to do a Tichel, would probably go for, I don't know, blue peacock feathers, but I'm just being a critic, that's all good. We all have our own tastes, and that's fine. So this is what I would do to pull off this very, I feel like 90s paper doll Barbie. I don't know if any of you have had those, but I feel like I must have had a 90s paper doll Barbie at some stage that had a very similar outfit, and she was a very like teacher looking one, so office kind of lady boss looking, kind of Murphy Brown vibes. So anyway, this is what my imagined matching Tichel would be. Shape is back on, but much further back, so it's kind of a bit more long shaped, and we're working with a very kind of, to me it sort of reminds me of a French schoolgirl kind of tunic. You still have the pinks in there in the sleeve, but the shirt is very sort of school uniform vibes. So I've gone for something that's grey on grey. This would also work for the previous look. It's got that heaviness to it though, and it's got that sort of, I don't know, it would really bring the pant back up to the top of the, where the eye kind of sits. So I don't know, I'm happier with the pink for the previous look. So this is very uneven. Cross them over at the back. I have not tied them, and I may live to regret that, but we're going to try this. Just take it, open it, and bring it over the top so it sort of comes over. Oh, like this. So the reason I'm struggling a little bit is because I haven't tied it. So this is a little bit trickier. And then I should have just enough fabric, hopefully, to sort of twist it in on itself. There we go. Okay. There we go. So hopefully that stays in place while we do the next bit. So this one I want a bit more gathered. And again, there's no non-slip headband this time. Well, there hasn't been at any time, and I haven't tied it, so it's quite loose. Well, not loose, but it's got a bit of movement to it. Look at that pretty twist it just did. Cute, let's leave it. So we're trying to sit it in front of my little French knot thingy, and then just twist it through from the back. Find your gap, pull it through, and you should get yourself a little tail. Let's put that down. Oh, good. And now that's a bit more secure feeling. And that just naturally happened. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that little twist just naturally happened. I can untwist it as well and sort of fix it if you like, but I love this. I love that it did that. So I'm keeping it. And you've got this little schoolgirl tail, if you like, down here. And I'm just going to fix this a little bit because it's just sticking up too much for my taste. There we go. And you've got this little French kind of bonnet situation. And they've also got a velour sort of neck royal blue bonnet there as well. I don't know, I can see why they would have made that choice. I just don't, kind of gives me the wrong ideas. It takes my mind somewhere else, like it doesn't work for my eye. So nothing against Gucci, I'm nothing obviously on a house like Gucci, but I'm just saying to my mind's eye that doesn't work. So to me, I'm going for little French inspired or provincial inspired moments, like a little tail, like a little bonnet, like a little twist, that even though that was unintentional, but it's very cute. I'm keeping it. And even the actual scarf is from France as well. This was bought in Florence, in the Florence market. And I love that you've got them different tones. And I feel like that will speak to the fact that there's a lot of different pastel tones throughout the outfit. It's also clearly a winterish or a cooler weather inspired fabric in the cashmere or whatever that woolen looking tunic is. She's also got layers, you know, shirt and an undershirt. So it's kind of speaking to a cooler weather. I know fall can be quite cool in some places, so that kind of makes sense. You've got the knee highs, all that sort of thing going on. So it makes sense to go for a heavier, or a pashmina for a heavier hair tie. And actually works with what I'm wearing right now too. So I'm actually got a bright magenta skirt on, mind you, but hey, it all works. So there you go. Very cute. Right, so for this next one, I've got definitely Austin Powers kind of vibe, so got that really retro, I don't know, 70s, I guess, vibes going here. But we do have bare leg, so I'm thinking a little bit less cool weather, a little bit more towards the summer. You've got these translucent fabrics through the orange shirt. By the way, I love the colors on this. I feel like there was a time in my life where I would have worn this particular color combination. Love the white belt tying back to the white socks. It's definitely got something going on about it. It spoke to me for sure. Absolutely don't understand the jewelry choice here. Completely left of field, but that's kind of what they're doing here. So for me, because it's such a loud outfit and it's got those glimpses of white, I feel like we had to represent that in the Tichel. And doing just a plain white Tichel, I mean, that would be the easy thing to do, just going for a plain one color. Maybe adding like a blue brooch or a blue hair tie or something like that, but too easy. So I'm going for a really loud statement pattern for this as well. I'm tying at the back again, I know, but this time I'm tying. And you could very well still include maybe like an orange and a blue flower, or I don't know, some sort of orange and blue moment, maybe in the jewelry or something like that to tie it all back together if that's what you want to do. Or you can go for a tree ornament like they have. I mean, I'm being very judgmental. I'm sorry. I don't mean to come across that way. It's just sort of, yeah, it's just not my thing, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So I've just put that fairly flat, but I've let it pleat. I'm just giving it a bit of a, like a half twist at the top and letting it fall. And then over here, with what little bit is left, I'm just doing a twist. Being pretty strict with it, not too tight, but, you know, firm. And then as you twist it up, you're kind of twisting it on itself, so in that way. Okay, these tassels are going to be a problem, but that's okay. All right, so keep it nice and firm. Get all those tassels in and twist again. Okay, with this last piece, I'm going to go under with it, tucking away as much of the tassels at the back as I can. And fix it all up. Again, this is rayon, so this is the kind of fabric you do want to non-slip with if you're doing twists and stuff. Now with these tassels, do with them what you will. I think I'm going to leave them actually. I kind of like them. They're going to give me another dimension to this look, which is kind of cool. And I'm just going to take, probably just because I just spoke about it, blue, and I don't have orange, but I have this sort of corally coloured pins. I'm just going to use them to get this rose into place, just through the front there. And you can use as many of these as you like, or as few or none, but I didn't like it sticking out so much. They've got a couple of little pins there. You can do more, you can do less, you can do black, you can do white, you can do anything. But yeah, so what I thought about this, and I've got no shaper on this time, so I'm keeping it very low profile. My idea with this was to still have a loud statement, but as she doesn't have too many things sticking out, it's not a very bulky look. It's more of a, where it's not, looks like it's not terribly cold weather clothing. I mean, I'm thinking from a practical sense. I'm just looking to tie it all back together, but still be loud, still be on trend with what they're trying to put across with this look. And I am loving this. Okay, so I've saved my favorite for last. This skirt, I would actually wear this skirt, I think. The more I look at it, the more I love it. I actually am massively not a fan of red. I don't know why, but every time I put it on, I just don't feel right. But I am a very lucky girl, and I was gifted this, you know who you are, with this beautiful reflective, I don't know, it's just a pinkier tone of red, or maybe slightly towards the purples almost. I don't know. It's got a particular tone which I love and I think works. And also sitting on this blue background, navy I adore. It's one of my favorite colors to wear. So it works out. And that skirt is definitely navy, royal blue and red. And it's got that really, really cute velour sort of finish on it on the belt. The buttons are cute too. I don't know, the length of it is really nice, how it's sort of baby doll in its finish. And that shirt, I don't know about the gloves, but that shirt is just so cute. And even with the turtleneck, I don't know if I'd go white and cream. I have a bit of a phobia of white and cream together, but that's me. That's my personal thing. But yeah, I just love the whole thing. I don't know if I'd be game to wear it necessarily. I'd probably just go for a navy turtleneck and call it a day. But I love what they did here, and I think it does have a bit more of a classic and chic winter vibe. Very perfect for this time of year. So I'm going to pull this forward for a difference, just for a difference. I've got it very asymmetric again. Just had to make sure my hair was tucked away. Bring these two up and make sure that these big pockets are tucked in. Otherwise they'll hang out like a hernia. Fix my ears. Big 2 twists, or 1.5 I should say, twists at the top. And I'm actually going to let this hang forward. So I undid the last half just to let it hang forward for a minute. And I'm just going to pull this back And then with this one, to do that half twist it back again. Come on. So I'm spreading it pretty wide. And I'm going all the way under again, hiding those tassels and securing them at the same time. And then back through the top. Then, this is going to be tricky. Just finding where all this sits, finding my little pocket. Ah, don't let go. This is the hardest part, just not losing your grip on things. So I think I saved it, so I'm going to hold it. Oh, hold it and pull. Oh, there we go. Yes, that worked out. All right, bit of a challenge there because this is a very heavy bit of fabric, very heavy scarf, but perfect if you're wearing such a warm skirt. You're going to want such a warm scarf to go with it. And I don't know if you noticed, but I think that these patterns here would go really, really well with the tartan on the skirt. I think that's just totally cute. Okay, let's lay this how we want to, and then just through the back nicely like that. How cute. And if you really wanted to, because we did loop this back around, you can actually tuck this into the back there like this, you can see, or you can just let it out loose. So I'll just show you tucked away so you can have it like this, or like that with a bit of a tail or waterfall or veil, whatever you want to call it, hanging out the back. Kind of gives you sort of like that feeling like you've got a bob, which is lovely. The tassels feel really, really nice. All right, so today was definitely a personal challenge. I love this. I love when I get suggestions, especially when they come from a few different people, and you know, it's had good feedback. It feels really great that I've stumbled on a nice idea, but also the challenge of going with a fashion house I don't usually love. You know, even the whole red and green thing that they do, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not my personal aesthetic. Chanel every day of the week. Gucci, I don't know, it's just whatever. We all have our personal taste, and that's why all these different fashion people exist, so that they can get looks out there on the market that then influences smaller houses and smaller producers, so that we then have things that we can express ourselves with. And I happen to be wearing my mum's jumper, which is probably about 30 years old. I don't know, I might be exaggerating, but I feel like she had it forever, and then now I've worn it half to death with the, you know, sparkles and whatnot. And you know, there was a time that I hated this jumper because it was just so not in, and the horizontal stripes, I just felt like it was just so heavy. And whereas now I'm loving it. So, you know, you go through phases, and you know, fashion changes obviously, and what you're wearing it with will also influence your overall decision and how you feel about an item of clothing. So as much as I am not claiming to be a minimalist, I'm actually a little bit of a hoarder. I'm a lot of a hoarder actually. I love things that give you a certain feeling, and clothes for me, or more the point, certain items, especially when it comes to scarves or accessories, things that, you know, you do have more than a few of. I love them. I love the freedom of choice. I don't know, I feel like even when financially things haven't been the best, you know, in different parts of my life, the fact that I've had freedom of expression through clothing has been definitely something that gave me confidence, and something that helped me carry myself and express myself. And you know, when words came out of my mouth, my appearance matched what the statements I was making. So I feel like that's what clothing is really, or fashion is really there for. Just a thought. Okay, before I get too deep, I hope you guys will like this video and hit the like button as well. That definitely helps out. If you haven't yet subscribed, or you know someone who would like to subscribe, please do hit that beautiful red button, turn it grey. And of course, there is the option to share. Leave me a comment if you have other really great ideas about maybe what fashion house you'd like me to cover next, or particular looks you'd like me to cover next, or DM me on Instagram. And also check out different things that are going on there, because life is busy. So I'm hoping to share a bit of that with you guys over there as well. Wherever you are around the world, my lovelies, I hope you are having an amazing day. You're healthy and you're safe, and you're doing well. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye.